Hey everyone, I'm here with a quick video on OJ Simpson. You know, OJ might have escaped his debt to the Goldmans in life, but it seems like in death, he will have to pay them what he owes. And listen, will they get the $100 million that they're owed? Probably not, because the executor, who is also OJ's former lawyer, but now he has on the executor hat, says that OJ didn't have that much money, didn't have millions and millions of dollars in the bank or in assets when he died. So on that note, they can only get what's probably going to be available to them. So I wonder, does that mean that the children don't get anything? Now I will say this: true fact is that when you die, until everybody you owe gets paid, nobody else gets their money. So the kids may end up with zero. Okay. Hold on one second. Let's just go ahead and listen.
Your statement that Fred can file this claim, is that kind of an open door that you will negotiate with him, some kind of resolution?
I'm obligated to as an executor, and I don't want to get into the legalese of it, but I know from litigating with Fred Goldman through lawsuits he's filed against OJ in the past here in Nevada that he has a valid claim. So that's not the issue anymore. That is a valid claim, and it will be accepted into the estate.
That's a big statement. So you're now acknowledging that he is a creditor based on the civil judgment, and that he is now in line to get some amount of money from this estate?
That's accurate. He is a claimant. I haven't reached out to his representatives formally. Within the next few weeks, I will invite Fred Goldman, Sharon Rufo, and the Brown family to show them my homework, because I've hit the ground running since Thursday evening when I found out I was the executor from A to Z with the entirety of control over Mr. Simpson's estate. And I'm going to invite them in before that time to show them what's there and show them what I've done.
I am stunned at how transparent you are right now and how different what you're saying is from what O.J. Simpson said during his lifetime, because he would do anything to keep from paying Fred Goldman. And you sound more than receptive right now.
You got to remember, I was Mr. Simpson's attorney for 15 years, first on some of his camp issues, AKA prison, and then out of prison dealing with issues, including Mr. Goldman's efforts to collect on that judgment here in Nevada. So I was part of Team Simpson with that attorney hat on, using the laws if I could to make sure that Mr. Simpson was protected as a debtor. But the attorney hat now has come off, all right? And the executor hat has come on. Two different rules, two different roles. So I have to get used to that learning curve.
Are we talking millions right now in terms of what OJ left?
Not from what I've done. And I'll give you a little idea of my homework. Most of what I've done for my sweeps of OJ's residence, where I presume most of his trust assets are at, you're talking furnishings, TVs, the same stuff that's in your house, Harvey, and in your house, Charles. I'm not a memorabilia guy, but I know who memorabilia guys are, that they're willing to pay top dollar, even for, one man's garbage is another man's treasure, right? So maybe some people will say, look, even though this means nothing to me, some guy who is fascinated with OJ and has a lot of money will say, well, because it's OJ's, I'll pay $50,000 for it.
What about just cash? What about checking accounts? What about investment accounts? He made a lot of money over the years. Is that money gone, or did he leave a lot?
There's a Florida bank account that Simpson has. I don't know. That's undetermined. I have the exact dollar amount of his Nevada account with me, and it's less than 5 figures. He was getting whatever the maximum amount of Social Security was, OJ was getting. It was exempt from everyone except the IRS, but OJ was getting the max amount, whatever that is. That terminates upon his death. It's probably the same for the NFL pension and the SAG pension, but there is a caveat to that. There may be some residual beneficiary. I'll look into that. But at this point, you can, with a more than 50% chance, say that those also terminate with no residuals that can go into the estates. OJ does get money from memorabilia signings, so that was another stream of income. So it may have been done in cash. I'm not sure. But it's certainly there under sworn testimony from OJ that he made money through memorabilia signings.
So it looked like it's not that much money to be had, but perhaps they will get something. So O.J. Simpson's estate is not flush with the kind of cash you expect, nor is it enough to satisfy his debt to Ron Goldman's family. At least that's what his executor is claiming. We got O.J. Simpson, longtime attorney Malcolm, Tuesday on TMZ Live, and he opened up about O.J.'s finances following his death last week. As Malcolm put it, OJ died with less than 5 figures in one Nevada bank account and overall had less than millions to his name. Well, I'm sure he spent a lot in lawyer fees over the years and everything else he was going through. In his final days, OJ was receiving the maximum amount of Social Security as well as pensions from his time as an NFL star and actor. Malcolm claims those payments total less than the 400K per year that's been reported. Mind you, he's not saying Simpson was broke by any stretch and admits he lived well during his post-prison life in Nevada. He says there's signed memorabilia in Simpson's home that can be sold off. One man's garbage is another man's treasure. Maybe some people will say, look, even though this means nothing to me, some guy who is fascinated with OJ and has a lot of money will pay $50,000 for it. So he's saying maybe there's some stuff that could be sold off that can perhaps, pay off some of this debt. As we reported, Malcolm's also dramatically changed his tune when it comes to dealing with Fred Goldman, Ron's father. Despite previously declaring the Goldmans would get nothing from OJ's estate, he now says he's happy to meet with Fred and to pay whatever the law requires. Remember, the Goldman and Brown families won a 1997 wrongful death lawsuit against OJ. And though they were awarded $33.5 million back then, with interest is now ballooned to more than $100 million. Malcolm, who served as OJ's attorney before becoming executor of his estate, acknowledged Fred has a valid claim and said he plans to reach out in coming weeks to show him what's financially available. It sounds like there won't be a lot of money to fight over, which you gotta imagine won't go over well with Goldman, who tried for 30 years to get what Simpson legally owed. I mean, at this point, they waited a long time. It's a tough situation, and I'm sure that it's not about the money for them. It's about the principle and what happened to their family members. For Ron Goldman, it was who Nicole was dating at the time, and for the Browns, it's their daughter, their sister, their family member who lost her life on that horrific day. So we're going to see how this pans out and see where the money ends up going and how much does end up going to the Goldman and the Brown family. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this situation? Now, one thing I do know, like I said when I started the video, any debt you owe, before anybody in your family can get anything from your estate, all debts have to be paid off. Being that he owes them $100 million, and the executor, ex-lawyer, is saying there's nowhere near that amount to be had. It looks like, unfortunately, O.J. Simpson's children may get nothing. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.